225 Q&A practice test. Ready? Here we go. Let me zoom out. Can you tell us what is shown in the photo of Exhibit 12? That is inside of the chicken coop. We have a coroner investigator to the right, and there are employees that take the deceased to the morgue. They are helping move Ms. West from that position she was in at the crime scene onto the plastic bag. Okay, and let me put Exhibit 13 on the screen. This is a photo of what? It's a different angle, but it is also Ms. West's upper body. She's resting up on top of the body bag at this point. Okay, now at some point during the process there, did someone point out what seemed to be a wound on her? Yes. And who was that? It started with Detective North finding a hole in her, the t-shirt that she was wearing. The coroner's investigator then lifted up the t-shirt and saw that there was a bullet hole in her bra. After the removing of that, they found the exterior wound. So they removed her bra away. Yes. And could you see what happened to be, well, what did you see when they moved the bra away? There was a gunshot wound. Let me put Exhibit 14 on the screen. Can you describe what you see in this photo on Exhibit 14? Yes, to the left of the screen, that is just the t-shirt that Ms. West was wearing after it was pulled up. Then in the center, a little south of the center of the screen, is the bullet hole. Now, when this wound was found, this was much later in the day, wasn't it? Yes, and in fact, do you recall what time that was? It was in the late afternoon. I believe it's in my report, but it was later in the afternoon. And until then, had you or anyone else known that this was a gunshot death? No. Okay. At that point, was Ms. West's shirt removed? I don't remember if it was fully removed. I do know at one point the body rolls physically back. It is just looking at the side that's not visible. So at this time, when she was just lying on her back, we couldn't see it. Then she was rolled to examine the back part of her body. Okay, what is shown in the photo in Exhibit 16, that is just going to be the back of Ms. West at the actual portion of the roll, and that is when we were able to notice another wound to her back. Okay, and you can see for the record that the gunshot wound is just kind of in the middle of her back, right? Yes, it's the red mark there, right? Yes, it is. And Mr. West, the defendant, was he there when you were there? He was there upon our first arrival at 4 in the morning. Do you recall? Were there a few photos taken of him? Yes, I'm going to show you Exhibit 17. Do you recognize Exhibit 17? I do. What is Exhibit 17? That's a photo of Mr. West near one of our crime scene vans in front of the house. Now let me put Exhibit 18 on the screen. What does Exhibit 18 show? That's just let me switch it around here. That's another photo of Mr. West taken at a further distance to show what he was wearing. Now, were these photos taken in the afternoon or the morning? In the morning. Do you recall where Mr. West was at the time of the body roll? I do. Where was he? I believe he was with his brother-in-law, Mr. Smith, in the city of Orange. He was not there at the scene. He was not. Do you know about when he left? It would have been after our first briefing and walkthrough mid-morning. Was the defendant told what the actual cause of death was? No. Mr. West, the person who was there, the person who you identified, was he told what the cause of death was? To my knowledge, no. Were you the senior officer on this? Yes. Did you issue any orders about whether the cause of death would be publicly released? Yes. What was that order? The order was that we were not going to release the cause of death. Why was that? It was an ongoing murder investigation. Is this a routine order in homicide investigations? It is. When this order is given, is it told to people involved in the investigation? Yes. At the time the defendant was present there, when you were there, March 9th, it was before the body roll, right? Yes. Would it be fair to say that everyone, as with normal policy, would be told don't put out this information publicly? Yes. Would that have applied to any communication with the defendant? Yes. And the family? Yes. On March 12th, were you present at an autopsy? I was. Was that for Ms. West? It was. As part of that autopsy, did you take photos? They did. I'm putting Exhibit 19 on the screen. Do you know what Exhibit 19 is? I do. What is that? That is a t-shirt that had been worn by Ms. West. Okay, Sergeant, I want to show you photos I think were taken at the scene of the house on Rose. I'm going to put Exhibit 23 on the screen. Can you tell us what Exhibit 23 is? That is going to be an outside photo of the chicken coop. Okay, I'm going to put Exhibit 24 on the screen. What is Exhibit 24 a photo of? That's a photo of the chicken coop looking up from where the cars are, a little closer to the inside of the chicken coop. Okay, and do you remember when this photo was taken? Which day? Do you know? I can't tell from where I'm at when this photo was taken. I am sorry. When Ms. West's body was there, was it way up the end of the wall there? It was, as we are looking at the photo of the back wall. Okay, I want to switch to the search of the house. There were a number of firearms, rifles, and a gun that were found in Linda West's bedroom, right? Yes. And in Mr. West's bedroom, there was a .22 rifle found there also, yes. Was there in the living room in a cardboard box? Was there a gun box for a Star Arms gun? Yes, there was. And on the label, did it have the information of a model 9mm? Yes. All right. That will conclude our RPR 225 Q&A practice test.